Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I don't have anything witty to say. My uterus hates me. How about that?
That kind of goes in line with the Christian parenting podcast, so we're good.
That might is does it? Is it?
Possibly. We don't know what they talk about over there.
Mm.
They
Hey,
can talk
Maybe
about a
talk about
bunch of stuff.
menstruation.
Maybe
Yeah.
they tell you how much it's a sin, and they're like Carrie's mom over there
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was such a weird.
in the book. Yeah,
Not just menstruation in general. Unnecessary. I don't need to
you
believe
wanna
to know.
you wanna talk to the manager about that, or
I would. Why do I have to go through this every month?
Yeah.
all right, we'll get the.
You don't. How would you like it to bleed out of your dick every month, Frankie?
I'd fucking hate it, but like I don't. So
Frankie, do you believe period products should be free?
yeah, they should.
That's a good question.
They should. If if Viagra is covered by healthcare,
Is it really?
it
It
is, yeah.
unfortunately is.
Oh,
If
that pisses
if
me off
Viagra is
so
covered by
much.
healthcare, period products should 100%. If they're not gonna just like give it away free to every woman, then it should be at least free. Or not, I shouldn't say free to everyone. Free to everyone who has periods. If they're not gonna just give it away for free, it should at least be covered by healthcare. At the minimum, I think it should be given away for free. But like I
So
said, you didn't know that Viagra was covered by healthcare?
no, so a guy who just needs to get his dick hard to have sex has that covered, but I, I have to pay money so I don't bleed all over people's furniture.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm so mad now.
I
Oh,
I
guess
think Shapiro just signed something about giving schools free period products.
you
So
know what?
teen period havers have access to those
This is
at
this
least
is
9 months out of the year.
this is something I'm genuinely curious about.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro approved a $3 million grant program to offer free menstrual products to students.
Good.
Snaps for Shapiro for that.
Yeah, very good. This is something I am genuinely curious about, and then we'll get into our episode. But Hannah and Frankie, Do you remember the talk that you had in middle school about puberty? Do you remember the puberty
One
talk?
in school.
Yeah.
I told you about mine. It was weird.
Well, I'd like to hear it again, and I also like to hear Hannah's because I don't think I've heard Hannah's.
The
Mine
guys,
really isn't exciting. So
the guys, it's not exciting. It was just a weird. It was just like kind of a shit discussion of puberty for guys. Like it was literally just, hey, you're getting older, your body's gonna change, you're gonna start getting body hair and smelling bad, so you should wear deodorant. They,
and
to
then
be
you
fair,
didn't.
they really focused on the deodorant, and some people didn't take that to heart. They really just, I guess, forgot that part, and they shouldn't have.
They missed the memo.
I don't know how they missed the memo because that was like that's what they really focused on too. Because like we didn't have like the sexual education part of that until maybe end of middle school, beginning of high school. But like we had that video about body hair and body odor in 5th grade. Yeah, some guys really missed the mark on the deodorant talk. They should like rewatch the video. They should be re-shown it.
Every year until they finally got it.
You can buy some at the dollar store, guys. It's fine.
Axe
I'm not-
body spray is not deodorant.
I don't care what
Yes.
kind of deodorant you buy or how expensive or cheap it is. Just buy it and use it. Don't just buy it and like leave it laying around the house.
I will say, Frankie, you smell very well, like very good.
I make sure that when I leave the house, no matter what, deodorant on. If I'm not leaving the house, sometimes I forget, but like if I leave the house, deodorant right before I leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
And also when I shower, armpits get double run through.
I'm actually very.
They have
I'm really
to.
impressed by you right now.
You guys, some guys, I don't know if I have to do it, but like I do it just to be safe because I don't want to smell awful, you know?
I don't know if Hannah will agree with me on this one. She might. But like if I ever have to like go somewhere very quickly, I will hop in the shower. I won't wash my hair or anything, but I like literally if it has to be a quick shower, the three things you hit. Pits, tits, ass. Ass also includes your feminine areas. Like those are my three big things. Hannah, what was your little period puberty talk like?
I I've been sitting here trying to like remember it, and I'm pretty sure I dissociated through it because I don't remember it.
I
Like I know I had one like in sixth grade. Like they split up the whole class. We went into one of the teachers' rooms and they showed us a video. And I know it was like on menstruation, and it was basically like a bunch of shorts. Like there was this one girl and she's at a sleepover and she like goes into the bathroom and starts rummaging around in her friend's house, and her friend's mom comes in. She's like, "Are you looking for a pad?" And the girl goes, "Yeah." She's like,
Why
"It's
is
okay. You could have just asked for one
why
first
is
of
that
all."
the first why is that the first thought?
if you're for a
Well,
woman, if
it,
you
it
know,
was like a 13-year-old girl, and at that age, you're definitely not gonna ask. You're more likely to just put toilet paper in your underwear.
and also if somebody is rummaging through your bathroom and they are a woman and they are within the age of menstruation or around then, you know they're
It
probably
could be,
looking for
hey,
us.
they could have a drug habit. You don't
Sure.
know their
I mean,
life.
fair. This was also the menstruation talk.
Menstruation video, yes, I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, it
so like
wasn't meant
obvious,
to be you.
yeah. So obviously she's not gonna be like, "What you looking for?"
Yeah, you
She's
just have
she's
to know.
obviously gonna be like, "You need a pad."
Yeah. Mine was very weird. Again, just like y'all, we were separated. Except the boys went to the auditorium. Literally, I feel like they were in there for 5 minutes and then they just went and played kickball or
Because
something.
they showed them the same video they showed us.
Just played kickball afterwards. I was so pissed off because we were in there for like 2 hours. We didn't get a video. We got a bunch of like slides, and we had a woman demonstrate how a tampon would go in. However, she did say, "Y'all are too young for tampons. You'll know when you're ready." Bitch, I was ready the minute blood came out of me. I was not waiting for this pad mumbo jumbo. Pads feel like you have a diaper on. It's uncomfortable. So I said, nah. Also, since the boys got done early, they went back to class early. And I think they wanted to know what the hell we were talking about. By the way, there's a big diagram on the board of like a vagina, all of the inner workings and stuff. The library that we are in is entirely made out of glass.
So you had no privacy.
We had I don't know who decided that was a good idea. Real dumb, real dumb. And I remember vividly this one girl whose parents definitely like sheltered her. Bunny
Don't
Caterpillar.
name her.
I'm gonna name her because
Don't
I
name
guarantee.
this person.
Give her a fake name.
Give her a fake name, or like, yeah, give her a fake name.
I'll say her first name, but I'll make a fake
Make it
last
a
name.
fake. Make it a fake first name. The name isn't important to the story.
It's very important to the story.
Was her name biblical?
No, it was real hippieist. Regardless, this girl was sheltered. The woman was like, "So you're going to be bleeding, basically." And she's like, "I'm sorry, where are we going to be bleeding at?" And like all of us turned around and we're like, "Excuse me, do you not actually know?" She's like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, from your vagina." And she's like, "Is it gonna hurt?" Like she was freaked out. Imagine, like I at least knew going into it because my mom kind of prepared me for shit. I at least knew going into it was gonna happen. Imagine that was the moment that you found out you were gonna be bleeding the rest of your life. A majority of it. I would also ask if it hurt. So her questions were pretty
I mean, to
reasonable.
be fair, it does hurt.
It does hurt because those cramps are your uterus contracting, Frankie.
It tries to strangle itself, basically.
Yeah, it is literally they're contractions so that they can get all of the blood and like uterine lining out of you. It sucks. last thing I'll say about my period talk is they sent us on our merry little way with a little care package.
I was just about to ask if you got stuff at the end of yours because I did.
We got a care package, and we also got a pamphlet. My care package was SpongeBob tampons.
No,
Yes.
not the SpongeBob tampons.
We
That's
received
real funny.
we got SpongeBob tampons, and you know what? It makes sense. He's a sponge. And then my dad picked me up from school that day because it was a Friday, and we were going out to my family's lake house. I gave my dad the pamphlet because I was a good child and gave my parents what my teachers told me to give them.
I forged their signature on everything.
No, I didn't. I was a good child. So I gave it to him. He looked at it. We picked up KFC. We went to the lake house where my aunt and grandma already were hanging out. My dad gave them the pamphlet and was like, "You need to have a talk with her about this." Not understanding that I already had a 2-hour talk about this. So my grandma and Aunt Kat sit me down at this table while my dad is in the living room. This is an open kitchen area, so he can hear everything. He's pretending to watch the TV. Definitely isn't because the volume's down. And my grandmother and my Aunt Kat are looking at this pamphlet that they gave us that has obviously a a prepubescent like figure of a girl, but also a boy, and they were laughing at the boy one, giggling the entire time, not being able to have a straight face. And my dad finally turns around and goes, "Can you guys be serious for just a fucking second?" Like he was so mad that they weren't giving me the talk. It was a fun day.
Frankie, did you get anything?
Yeah.
I don't think we got anything.
Oh,
That would be a perfect time to get travel deodorant.
do you know what they gave the boys at my school?
Travel deodorant?
No.
Axe body.
Well, they
spray.
might have
A toothbrush.
a jock strap.
No, they didn't.
That's
They
absurd.
did.
That's
They did.
absurd. That's absurd. Why? Why? That's utterly absurd. Not everyone needs a fucking jock strap. That is unbelievable.
You only need it if you play sports. What if you don't play sports? What if you don't sport? You
Yeah.
don't just wear a
The
jock
two
strap.
guys who didn't sport got one too.
That's absurd. That's
It's
absurd. It's also unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
That like one of the purposes of a jock strap is to like hold a cup, and they don't have you wear them any earlier. It hurts when you get hit there, no matter what age.
Do they not make you wear a cup in like Pee Wee football and
I
stuff
never
like
played Pee Wee football, but I played baseball and basketball. We never had to. They never brought up a cup in baseball until like around 5th grade, like 4th grade summer going into 5th grade.
Why?
I don't know.
Because even if the balls don't drop, like your twig's still gonna hurt. You could break your twig.
It still hurts. Yeah.
Your twig could break. I don't have one, but ouch, that sounds
Yeah,
painful.
it could hurt. It still hurts when you get
I
hit down
imagine.
there. So like, I don't know why they didn't. All right, whatever. Anyway, we have a movie
Maybe
to
they
talk
should have
about.
given you one at the talk.
Yeah.
They should have given deodorant. Maybe people would have got hooked on it, like drugs.
Real quick before we do move on to the episode, I was told that by my mother, who I guess was listening to the podcast, that we have a comment on Spotify.
What? Oh. All right. Everyone, calm down.
I can't. I'm still laughing about the jock strap.
I'm going to comments right now. I'm
It's
looking
on
at
the Doctor Who episode, I believe.
Whoa,
who would comment.
whoa.
Who would comment? I hope someone just shit on my horrible research. It's loading. It's loading up. It's taking a while. I'm on like the website where we used to upload.
Gotcha.
It says we don't have any comments. What are we doing? All right, let me look
Maybe
at the.
check the
Are we
YouTube.
sure it's not on YouTube?
It could be on YouTube.
Let me check the email account. Oh. All right, here we go.
Live reaction.
Everyone. Well, we did give a live reaction to that other comment before.
The one where they told you got your research wrong.
Yeah, and I was like, all right.
Dude was respectful.
Okay, here we go.
If you're gonna give us criticism, make it nice like that.
Oh my god. This is
What is it?
absurd. This is
Is it a
absurd.
bot?
No, it's Monique.
Oh,
Is it really?
She just wrote, "We need more peanut gallery." She's fucking promoting her brand over here.
I swear to God, I had no idea.
She's over here promoting her brand.
She just told me we had a comment, and I was like, oh, in what episode?
It's a YouTube comment just saying we need more peanut gallery from the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery is promoting themselves.
Wait, did she actually label it the peanut gallery, or is it her name?
It literally says we need more peanut gallery.
Oh my God.
And I can tell because it says who left the fucking comment. It's your account.
It is my account, I bet. It's probably the one that we share.
It is. It's the account you share because I've seen this fucking profile picture endless amounts of times. All right. Well,
like this video if you want peanut gallery merch.
Yeah, email us. Email us if you want more. If you agree and want more peanut gallery, leave a comment or email us.
Speaking of merch, even though we're not at the point where we need to make merch, I am working on our avatars, like our full body avatars.
Oh, that's exciting.
Very exciting. Hopefully by the time this episode is out, at least one of them will be up.
Look for that on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll plug
All right,
it at
now
the end.
Yeah. Now let's talk about this. I don't know. I hesitate to call it a film because
It's a film. What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's 43 minutes, Frankie. You barely called Dumbo a film.
Okay, it's barely a movie, but I don't know. It could be like a nice little TV special.
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. So, Saludos Amigos. Frankie, you asked me why I have No Bueno as my name tonight.
Yeah, I did.
It's not because I think the movie is bad.
Oh, thank God.
It's not because I think the movie is bad. I'm saying No Bueno because as soon as I turned on this movie...
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, what did we get?
We got the content warning once again. It's back.
We had what? 1 week where we didn't have it?
Yeah, Bambi didn't have it.
Bambi had none of it. So, all right. So let me talk a little bit about Saludos Amigos before we jump into it. Saludos Amigos is a 1942 American live-action animated propaganda anthology film.
Yo, this was propaganda. This was well-made propaganda. Props to Disney.
It's propaganda.
This was well-made propaganda. Props.
Set in Latin America, it's made up of 4 different segments. Donald Duck stars in 2 of them. Goofy stars in 1, and it also features the first appearance of Jose, the Brazilian parrot. Saludos Amigos.
Or, as Donald calls him, Joe.
Saludos Amigos premiered in Rio de Janeiro on August 24th, 1942. It was released in the United States on February 6th, 1943. Commissioned by the United States Department of State as part of the Good Neighbor policy. The film is a notable example of American propaganda promoting goodwill towards Latin America. The film was a success, helping launch the international popularity of Donald Duck, leading to Disney to produce The Three Caballeros, which is another government-funded film.
I watched the wrong one.
Are you serious right now?
I watched The Three Caballeros.
This is absurd.
I said, didn't I say Saludos Amigos?
You did.
You did, but then I couldn't remember the title, so I looked up Disney films from the 1940s, and I saw the one with Donald Duck and the Brazilian bird, and went, "Oh yeah, that's the one I want."
I would love to say, this is the second time this has happened to Hannah.
I don't have something written down in front of me and explicit instructions. I'm not going to do it correctly, okay?
You didn't. You sure didn't.
I'm sorry, I'm crying because I'm laughing so hard right now.
Well, you better be quiet for the rest of this episode then.
No, don't. But at least you're ahead. You're ahead of the game. You're 2 weeks ahead.
You guys are like, this is an okay film, and I'm like, what did you watch?
Well, apparently we we know that apparently the Three Caballeros is not.
We know that Hannah fucking hates the Three Caballeros.
So yeah, this is a propaganda film.
Hey, hell of a propaganda film.
It's not bad.
I didn't realize it was a propaganda film, so that's good propaganda.
It's good propaganda. Then I didn't know it was propaganda. You didn't know this was propaganda.
If you can't realize it's propaganda, I think that's pretty good propaganda.
I knew it was propaganda. When are we nice to Latin? Well, sorry. When at that time were we nice to Latin America that we didn't televise it?
That's true. That's true. We had to be nice because we were starting, even though like we were in the middle of World War II, we're still like starting the Cold War. So we're trying to be nice, be like, hey, don't be a communist, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what we were. Saludos Amigos. It starts off with an opener. By the way, do you know what Saludos Amigos stands for? Did I say that already?
You didn't. I know. It means welcome
Amigos
friends.
is friends.
Yeah. Greetings, friends.
Okay.
So basically, the film opens after its fun little opening title sequence to a bunch of Americans getting on an airplane, small ass airplane. Also, no TSA either.
Yeah, they didn't exist back then.
Yeah, because 9/11 didn't happen.
They said, "You want to fly on this plane with your gun? Sure, go on."
Yeah, go
Please,
for it.
go
You
ahead.
guys want to smoke
Do you
on this
want to
plane?
fly it?
Yeah, do you want to fly this plane?
You can also be drinking a martini and smoking. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The pilot will also be doing that, so it's fine. Who cares?
Yeah. The pilot will
He's
be
3
drinking.
deep already.
He's actually taking a snooze. We just have a kid in charge of the controls right now.
It's
He
Flim
really
Flam
wanted to
and
be a
Scrappy
pilot.
Doo.
It's, we got a dog up there actually flying the plane tonight. It's fun.
So we see them board a plane, and then we see an animated plane. They go to Rio de Janeiro. Then they go to Buenos Aires. Aires. I never pronounce it right. Then they split up. Right. The party splits up. One of them goes to Lake Titicaca.
How hard did you laugh at that, Amanda?
A little bit.
Mhm.
And then Peru
Did you
and
have to
Bolivia.
pause the film?
I would love to say that all of the information I'm about to spout off to you guys that they tell us in this film is accurate.
Probably not. It's definitely not.
It's probably not.
I will say, we did love an animated map.
Yeah, it was.
That
It was
was
so funny.
love an animated map.
I like how in Rio they had the Jesus statue still.
Yeah.
That's all Rio has.
They had Carnival.
Yeah, but it's hard to show
have a lot of
Carnival on a
stuff.
map.
They have a lot of stuff. This is the Christian parenting podcast. We got to talk about the Jesus statue.
So we're at Lake Titicaca. Apparently, it's 8,000 square miles above of water, over 2 miles above sea level. So pretty high. It is apparently popular in Incan folklore. And they proceed to tell us all about the stuff that we're going to end up seeing in Donald. I think it's really cute that this is probably the first time these people ever saw cameras. So, like, all of them are smiling, which is adorable. And I like the hats that they're wearing, along with the hats that baby was wearing.
That baby had some fucking cool hats.
He had ridiculous hats. Like,
I hope that baby grew up to do something great.
I hope he did too.
I love these live action bits. They were very fun to see these people.
It's really interesting. As soon as we see a baby being carried on the back of its mother in a fun little hat, we then go to a caricature that is very not. I understand why we have the content.
They earned the content warning early, Hannah.
This is at
5 minutes in.
3 minutes and 17 seconds.
Ooh. They should have just stayed on the baby in the hat.
They should. No, they drew the baby in a hat very offensively. Well, they drew the mother more offensively, I think. It's both offensive. All of them are offensive.
It's not great.
It's not good. They called their music strange and exotic.
It wasn't strange.
Yeah, I didn't think it was strange either. Will say, I do find it really fascinating how fast the artist worked. Granted, the artist was doing some racist shit. Seeing that pencil move very fast, and I know it was probably sped up, but like that was still a quick drawing. I can't do that.
You know what else was very fast? How they very quickly became condescending of Brazil
Yeah,
of South American culture.
yeah. The Lake Titicaca culture, the
It was they
Incan
were
culture.
they were quick on that draw.
Yeah. Um. Next up, this confused me for a minute before I saw a front shot. I just saw a bunch of bushels of grass moving, and I was like, "Are those people? What's going on?" Like, I thought they might have been like, you know how in Bugs Bunny cartoons they'll like hide in a bush and then the bush will move with them.
Yeah.
I
This
Yes.
is
thought I thought this was that, and then it just turned out to be donkeys uh, with a bunch of hay on them. But I was very confused for a minute. Technically, they're burros, but they're very cute. They also have llamas. Hannah, you missed the llamas.
Alpaca? Wait, llamas or alpacas?
llamas.
Llamas.
Actual llama? Okay.
Um, they mentioned, and this cracked me up. They said these little burros bear the heavy burdens here, because the more dignified llama will carry just so much and no more. When his quota is exceeded, that haughty aristocrat of the Andes calmly sits down and refuses to budge.
Me after working 3 hours.
They then proceed to show an artist drawing llamas with glasses.
Fancy
Pretty cute.
glasses.
Fancy glasses. It's pretty cute. They said a llama can make you feel awfully unimportant. I mean, I'm always afraid to go around llamas. I pet them, but I'm also very wary that they will spit on you sometimes.
They really don't spit.
Is that alpacas? Who spits?
I think it's both
The
of them.
the rumor is llama spit, but
Yeah,
They don't. I've been around llamas enough, and I've never been spit on. Of course, these were petting zoo llamas, so
they probably know not to spit.
that's also true. That's also fair.
All right, moving on. We finally get to the animated segment with Donald Duck.
transition from live action to the animation, smooth. That was a
Very,
smooth transition.
very smooth. It goes from looking at photos or I guess drawings that the animators have made to Donald Duck looking at in binoculars with his little safari hat on. Donald Duck then proceeds to freak out that he's 13,000 feet high, mentions that there's some altitude sickness, most common symptoms dizziness, which he then says phooey to. Then proceeds to get dizzy, sees two of himself. He also gets heart palpitations. His ears pop, which he doesn't have ears, and a peculiar ringing sound is heard, and his hat turns into a bell. This poor duck.
You shouldn't be up there in those mountains.
I guess not. He then gets on a boat made of balsa reeds that he then deconstructs accidentally and just falls into the water. Which he's a duck. He
He's a
should float.
dog.
Yeah, he should
Yeah,
float,
just
right?
swim. He'll swim.
Yeah, he's fine. He gets on another boat that he doesn't break, turns the sail up, and immediately flies because of the wind, and then suddenly stops, goes through the sail, and lands in, I guess, some dough that an Incan woman who is drawn very crudely is kneading. And boy, oh boy, would I be upset if I was the person they were basing that woman off of.
If that's how they
Oh
drew
boy.
you,
Yeah. It gets worse because we see men playing flutes and instruments, and they don't look any better. In fact, I think they look worse. Preceded by an also very racist caricature of a woman who's just walking down a mountain, barely touching it with her heels.
She's just walking down the mountain on her tippy toes.
Yeah.
because the hills there are so steep, and like the people are. The way she's drawn is bad, but the way they have her walking is it's not accurate, but because the hills are so steep in that region,
When I say
they
heels, I mean heels, not toes. I mean heels.
yeah, the heels of her feet. But because the hills there are so steep,
She can walk it
You
easily.
kind of have
is
to
what
walk.
this is.
I mean,
Okay.
you'd
And she can
get
do it.
used to walking like that.
Yeah, but it's still not great.
The way she's drawn isn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is also not great. The narrator mentions that we find the people here divided into two classes. Um, the ones who walk against the wind, and the ones who walked with the wind.
That was weird. That was bizarre.
It's very weird, and I'm not sure if it was supposed to be like picking on like the way people walk there or whatever. Again, racist caricatures, not great. Donald tries to copy it. We do see, and this did make me laugh, the baby next. Donald's trying to take a picture of a baby in his little back nap thing. As he goes to take a picture, the baby takes a picture of him. Fuck yeah.
Baby said, "Fuck
So,
you." How does it feel?
yeah, that's kind of what he said. Next, I don't know how to explain the llama thing, Frankie, very well. The music llama.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's a kid who has a flute, and the notes he hits control the movements of the llama. And then Donald takes the flute, tries to do the same thing, but he starts fucking jamming on it, and he makes the llama basically like dance, and the llama gets pissed and like hits the flute out of his hand and takes it from him.
So some weird musical Ratatouille.
It's like a snake charmer, but with a llama. A
But with
llama
a llama,
charmer.
that's so much better. Yeah. Um, Donald and the kid then switch clothes. Which
I
I think
hated this line though.
what was the line?
They call it. They say it's not like a trip until the tourist puts on the local costume.
Oh, here it is. Hold on. The visitor never seems to be satisfied until he tries on the native costume.
Yeah, it's not a costume, guys. This is what
Thanks.
people are wearing.
I hate it.
This is their clothing that they wear. It's not a fucking costume, Disney.
Yeah, it's rough. This
And it's
real
what, just
rough.
like pants and a shirt? Like
It's
just generic clothing?
it's a poncho and a hat.
Yeah, but like it's nothing like he's not
Weird.
fucking dressed like Jack Skellington.
Yeah, it's not a costume. Anyway, Donald tries to ride this llama, which I guess is no longer pissed at him because the llama is basically your transportation. I forget where they're going, but they're going to a really high hill that they end up going on a suspension bridge. Donald gets scared of heights. He's playing the flute that controls the llama's movement, so the llama's not going to walk if the flute isn't being played. Donald's upset by the heights, almost falls off the llama. He starts playing the flute, the rope gets stuck. He falls, saves himself by holding on to a rope that is tied to the llama's muzzle. That rope then gets caught in between the slats of the suspension bridge. When the llama pulls Donald back up, half of the suspension bridge comes up with it. Llama then has flute in their mouth. Donald takes the flute back, almost falls again, clings onto the llama, sees that the rest of the suspension bridge boards have fallen to the ground, and the llama starts walking. Donald keeps placing the remaining tiles in front of the llama so that the llama won't fall. Goes way too fast. The llama almost falls. Doesn't. Then Donald just has one board left. The llama jumps onto Donald. He's trying to like gently hop across the suspension bridge. Doesn't end well, and the llama I think makes it just fine. But Donald,
And
This
that's the end of the film. He died.
this was the only bit of this entire short that I actually enjoyed. Oh, Donald also used some salty language at one point. Just want to
yeah,
point that out.
he
He calls the llama a big palooka. Just come on, Donald. This is a family film.
yeah he what does he say to the narrator? He said something mean to the narrator.
Oh, I didn't write. I don't care about the narrator.
I
Why is
care
he
about
being Why is he being mean to the llama?
He called the narrator a big windbag.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about the narrator. Don't be mean to llamas though. What did the llama do to you?
Anyway, when Donald falls, he falls into a pottery shop. The pottery then bounces and he bounces into the lake. He fucking he hightails it out of there. He's like, I'm done. I fell really high. I'm not doing this anymore. And that's the end of the bit. So next we move on to Chile, to the Andes Mountains. We're again in the plain because no cameras are allowed here. Probably because they knew they were going to draw some racist shit. They're like, yeah, nah. Since no cameras are allowed here, the artists have to sketch this all from memory.
And it's
I
bad, I'm assuming.
No,
no,
it's
they're just drawing scenery at this point,
Oh,
yeah,
right?
oh, okay. Oh, scenery. Okay.
I
yeah.
want to say really quick, the way they show like the sketching, like the sketches of how the shorts are developing, because they do that a lot here with
Yeah.
the plane short. This was way better than the Reluctant Dragon, which tried to do the same thing but sucked.
So they make this little plain guy with a personality all of his own. I forget what his name is.
Pedro.
Um, Pedro, thank you. He is adorable.
Pedro's so
I
cute.
I fucking love this little guy. Next, we get to the next short that's all about Pedro. Pedro lives near Santiago, Chile, with his mama plane, his papa plane, and him. The papa plane delivers mail. The mama plane, I guess, does nothing. The mama plane was a middle-sized plane. Yeah, it doesn't say that the mama plane did anything. And there was a little baby plane named Pedro, who we see drinking gasoline like it's his little sippy cup thing from a straw.
It's adorable.
He's so cute. He has a little hat on, a little cap. We see that Pedro goes to school. He learns the ABCs of flying. I think this is so cute. The arithmetic that he learns is 1 plane plus 2 planes equals 3 planes. He was also taught anatomy, and the anatomy, Frankie, it's just bones
It
shaped
was
in a plane.
it was so funny. That really got a laugh from me. A plain skeleton.
It was a plane skeleton. It was so good. Pedro is just like me. He's a little daydreaming. He's looking at his butterfly and he got upset or he got yelled at. So we see that his dad flies from Santiago to Mendoza. As he flies, he passes Aquaganga. I'm probably pronouncing that right, wrong, which is a mighty Andes mountain. And he has a really mean face.
They made this
It is the
mountain look
highest mountain in the
they made this mountain
yeah,
look terrifying.
yeah, he does look very scary. He You know what would have been great if they put this mountain and then had Chernobog coming out of this mountain?
That's too much. That's too
It's so much.
you don't need little Pedro dealing with that.
No,
Dealing
I'm
with a
saying in
demon.
Fantasia. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
in Fantasia. No, Pedro. This was too much for Pedro. I feel like.
The mountain was too much for Pedro. I can't have him dealing with a demon.
Anyway, one day the Papa plane uh, gets sick, and it says the Mama plane couldn't handle the altitude because she had high oil pressure. She couldn't fly the mail, so Pedro had to fly the mail. His first flight,
Pedro's what, like 5?
he's baby. And his mom says, now remember, Pedro, stay out of the downdraft and keep your muffler on tight. And don't go near the Akuganga. I'm going to pronounce it wrong the entire time. The Scary Mountain. We're going to call it the Scary Mountain from now on. Don't go near it. So he goes to take off, and it's a little rough start for him. It's a little rough. It's his first time, you know. He doesn't pull up maybe as well as he needs to. He almost hits a couple of things, but he makes it. He makes it up into the air, and he gets going to pick up the mail at Mendoza. Okay, so he's flying. He looks pretty happy. He gets caught in a downdraft, but he's able to pull out of it, and it's pretty much smooth sailing to Mendoza. He goes over a pass where the statue of Christ of the Andes are. That marks the boundary between Chile and Argentina, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know that. That's not something that they teach you in geography class. At least I didn't got taught that. Pedro then sees the scary mountain, and he hides in a big fluffy cloud and like tiptoes around it in the cloud. That mountain is terrifying. He makes it. He picks up the mail. He has his little mail bag. He looks adorable, even more adorable with his little mail bag. Almost drops it a couple of times. I will say, sometimes I think they forget to animate the bag because I notice it goes away and it comes back. Maybe I'm being picky. Anyway, a bird starts to taunt Pedro, and Pedro follows the bird all the way to Frankie. Where does he follow it to?
He falls into the scary mountain. Oh no. Oh no. And now a storm is coming.
Yeah, now we're in a storm, huge storm, and it's all that scary mountain's fault.
By the
Pedro gets-
way, Hannah, just so you know, the scary mountain just like has a face, but isn't alive. It's not like it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't talk. It just
It's
looks at
No,
the
it's just a
plane.
really creepy looking mountain. Like it's
Okay.
not living like you would think.
no. Anyway, the storm comes and Pedro's having a really hard time. He loses the mail, and the narrator's like, Pedro, forget the mail, forget the mail. Go and save yourself, fly above the storm. Pedro doesn't. He goes, he gets the mail, and he goes to go up, fly above the storm. He's climbing, He gets stuck. His mailbag gets stuck a little bit, but he's still making it. He's saying, drop the mail, save yourself. You gotta get to more altitude. As he finally reaches high altitude, he runs out of gas and he slowly falls back down and he's gone. I know that he didn't die, but man, harrowing stuff. They then show Pedro's parents searching the skies in vain for him because they know he wouldn't have been able to make it. He couldn't have held out
that
long.
that was brutal. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna cut to Pedro's parents looking for their
Crying.
son, and they think he's dead now.
Did the
Yeah.
same person create the first 15 minutes of Up?
Maybe. There's a line in here that was just like another martyr to mail service.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is rough. Really rough. His parents are crying. They're like, poor little fellow, his first flight. It's too bad it had to end this way.
Yeah, even the narrator is sad.
Yeah. But then they hear an engine spluttering. And here comes Pedro. He's coming in. We don't know how he made it. Even the narrator doesn't know how he made it. He definitely came in, rough landing, crashing. He's upside down, but he carried the mail in. His mom and dad so happy, so relieved. They're probably not going to let him out of their sight again for a while.
Hannah, what do you think this little plane risked his life for?
Seeing as this is propaganda, I'm assuming something to do with America.
No, it's worse.
It's a postcard that just says, wish you were here.
Yeah.
It's just a single postcard.
That was
Having
all the
a
mail.
wonderful time. Wish you were here. And the narrator says, well, it might have been important.
One single postcard was all of the mail.
That was it. That was it for that day.
Also, like I get like it's like a postcard, but like that the mail only goes from Argentina to where? Where's the mail going from? Sorry, I forgot the route.
Argentina to Chile.
Yeah, so like, just wait till you come home. At that point, you're not even on a different continent.
Anyway, and that's the end. Pedro lives happily ever after with his parents. Next, we go from Chile to the Argentine Pampas in Buenos Aires. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Buenos Aires?
I said it right? Okay, cool.
You did say it right this time.
We see a little bit of the city. We see really nice parks. The city does look beautiful. I don't know if it's because it's like the 1940s and like for some reason all of these like old-timey cars driving through just make everything look so cute.
Well, the modern day is ugly.
Something that they were impressed by in Argentina were the gauchos, which are basically Argentinian cowboys. That's what we're liking it to. The caballeros. And we did see some of these cowboys bucking on horses, and holy shit, I'm so terrified to be on a horse. So scared.
But those are wild horses. Are you gonna get on a wild horse?
No, I'm not gonna get on any horse. Not doing it.
They're very docile for the most part.
A domesticated horse isn't gonna do that unless like
if they're what I'm assuming is happening is these are men trying to
break a horse.
Yeah, break the horse.
Yeah, don't like it. Don't like it.
You're not gonna be
on a wild horse.
Amanda, no one's gonna ask you to break a horse.
Leave them alone. Didn't we learn that from Spirit?
The Spirit hadn't come out yet.
You got
Anyway.
quite some time to go.
Yeah, they weren't aware.
Anyway, once we see the Caballeros, we then see a bunch of dancing.
So it's fucking cool. They're so fucking good.
It's very good dancing. The thing that irritates me is they have, since they couldn't have sound, it's all like recorded over. So it's definitely not the same music that they were dancing to. I bet you their music that they were dancing to sounded way better.
Oh yeah.
Like even the drums like weren't on sync. It was just real irritating.
They made them seem like they were all offbeat when they weren't.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Propaganda.
I will say, when we were watching all of this, I was like, this is very cool. I like that we're seeing all of this. It's very cool, very exciting. I was worried for the short.
I was also worried for
Because
the short.
the more they showed live action, people were like, oh no, what are they gonna do?
I will say some of the caricatures, like compared to like the Inca ones, these ones weren't near as bad. They
This
still
one
were
was
great.
not anywhere near as bad, and the short didn't have anything like really bad in
Yeah.
it.
Basically, this is Goofy. This is Frankie's boy.
Goofy's so cool.
Did you like this? I hate this. Like I don't want to talk about it that much.
I don't have like a lot of notes on this one. I have 2 notes.
What are your notes?
My first note is so like the premise is that Goofy is a
Oh,
cowboy.
by the way, Goofy smokes in this.
Yeah, Goofy smokes in this one. Yeah, everyone smokes in the 40s. Babies come out of the womb, and the doctors slap him on the butt and give him a cigarette.
And
then they go tell him to fly a plane.
Yeah. And they say, well, only if they're able to handle a whiskey, then they can fly the plane.
Well, I'm sorry. I forgot about that part.
If they can't handle the whiskey, then they just are given a car to drive.
Yeah, you just get a card.
So basically, in this one, Goofy's a cowboy, and they're like, "Hey, let's see what life as a cowboy is like compared to life as a gaucho." And so they fucking teleport Goofy on over to Argentina, and they dress him up like a gaucho, and they have him do like live the life for a day, and it's Goofy, so he fucking messes it all up. My one note is that when they're changing him from like what a Texan cowboy would wear to what a gaucho would wear, they fucking show Goofy's feet. That was fucking terrifying. Never show me that again.
I want to see Goofy's feet. Hold on.
It was horrifying. They were
What would the score be on Wiki
disgusting.
Frankie?
Can you give
Oh my
negative
God.
scores? Can you give the negative points on WikiFeet?
Oh my God. Why do they not match him?
They'd be like, Hannah, imagine like a human foot, not a goofy dog foot, a human foot that has a bunch of diseases upon it.
Why do you do this to me?
That's what it looks like.
Why did you have to tell me about this cursed image?
That's what Goofy's feet look like, and they're terrible. Because
Yeah.
I saw it, and they should never show Goofy's feet. They should never show any feet. But if that's what Goofy's feet look like, never show them again. So that was my first note. My only other note about this short was it's just a classic Goofy short, not as bad as I thought it would be. It's just like if you like Goofy, it's a Goofy short.
It's a Goofy short. We'll say I like his horse. His what do they call it? His Pingo. He dresses his horse in drag at one point to dance with his horse.
He doesn't dress the horse in drag. The horse dresses itself in drag.
Right. Sorry. Also, there was a point where they like tried to showcase how Goofy would eat with a knife. Basically, you have a piece of meat, you bite into the meat. As you're pulling it with your teeth, you swipe up with the knife so that you basically cut it. That seems terrifying to me.
That's how I will die.
It's insane.
They also on the same fork have a piece of bread, so you bite into the
So
meat.
you have beef
cut,
jerky.
Twist, bite into the bread, cut, twist, bite into the meat, and you keep doing that. And Goofy goes really fast and eats the knife.
Of course he does. And he should be dead now.
He should be, but he's not. He then goes and torments an ostrich for a little bit.
Why is there an ostrich?
There's ostriches in Argentina.
Are there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Him tormenting the ostrich doesn't end well for him, the ostrich, or the horse. And then at night, Goofy's playing a guitar, pretending to play a guitar, when in actuality he's just listening via gramophone. He then decides he's going to dance, and the horse then gets in drag, and they dance together. It's very, very lovable horse, and that's how the short ends.
He gets sent back to Texas.
He does get sent back to Texas. And then lastly, we hit Rio.
Yeah.
Love me some Rio. Again, we see the statue of our Savior.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Nah, Jesus.
Oh.
Hey, Zeus.
Do you know the name of that statue?
No.
It's Christ the Redeemer.
I probably did. I just didn't care enough. So they're in Rio. They're drawing beaches. They're drawing. It's beautiful there. Makes me super jealous. Among the sketches that the artists draw is a Brazilian parrot that is often featured in very funny stories, I guess. And they decided they're going to create their own parrot character. So with help from the wardrobe department, he becomes. Actually, the narrator calls him Joe, Frankie.
So does Donald.
It is Jose. Then we see some samba dancing. Love samba. We then jump to Carnival. And if this is what Carnival in the 40s was like, there's no boobs, there's nothing.
Well, they couldn't show that.
They could.
No, it's a Disney movie.
Where are the boobs?
It's a Disney
Show me
movie.
the boobs, show me the beads, show me the really like slutty outfits.
It's a Disney movie.
They also didn't show really colorful outfits. They just showed a bunch of blue.
They did show some of the most boring outfits. I'm sure there were exciting outfits there.
Yeah. They mention how there are songs written specifically for Carnival, and they had chosen a Carnival hit for this next little short. It's called
I did take Spanish, but I didn't write it down, so I can't help you.
I'm not going to pronounce it in Spanish, but it's called A Watercolor of Brazil. But it's that in Spanish.
I will say, with the watercolor in Brazil, short, what's really cool about this one, they have Brazilian composers and singers and voice actors.
Yes.
For the short. Honestly, shocking.
It was really cool to see. And I just want to mention the artistic value of this too. They actually made the short seem like it was in watercolor.
Oh, I love this short. This short's so good.
It was so amazing to see. Even like the beginning, just him like laying out all of the scenery before we even got any color was so interesting.
Hannah, if you're gonna watch any of this,
I will not, but okay.
Just watch this short. Okay, you're not, but just watch this one if you decide to.
It's very good, and I would highly recommend it. It was so cool. Even like the water flowing from the paintbrush, and then the flowers straight. Oh my gosh!
And then when the flower, like all the flowers turn into the birds.
The flamingos, yeah, the drips turn into the flamingos.
And they have like the bananas turn into the toucans.
Yeah. And the flowers start having lips and start singing to the song. Like
it's amazing.
So cool. So cool. Anyway, we see Donald show up. He makes his little appearance after we see some things. He's like, "Where the hell am I? What's going on?" As he slowly sees Jose being made.
Is Donald in watercolor? Or is he his normal Technicolor self?
Everybody's their normal Technicolor self. The watercolor is the background.
Okay.
So Donald is seeing Jose being painted.
Being born.
And he's like, "Who is this? A parrot? What's going on?" Meanwhile, there's like samba music playing. Jose shakes his legs out and like colors drip from him. That was also really cool to see. He introduces himself as Jose, and Donald mispronounces and calls him Joe. The only thing I think Donald can read correctly is Rio. Jose tries to talk to him. Donald doesn't understand. Jose then taps on him, asks for his card. Donald gives him an ace of spades. He flips it over. It says Donald Duck Hollywood. And Jose freaks out. He's like, "Oh my God, Donald Duck!" And like starts imitating him. Jose decides he's going to show Donald all around Rio. He's going to show Donald the land of the samba. And Donald's like, "What's a samba?" And Jose shows Donald what a samba is, what a dance is, tries to get Donald into the rhythm. Donald's bad at getting into the rhythm. He finally gets it, though. He does get it. Jose turns his umbrella that he has into a horn and Donald's hat into an accordion. Donald can't play either of those. They go to a cafe. They walk on like the fun little mosaic streets. Donald has a drink of something that is very spicy, apparently.
Does he turn red?
No, he breathes fire and lights Jose's cigar. Donald starts hiccuping, and because of his hiccups, he starts getting into the rhythm of the samba. And then we just see a bunch of outlines of Donald and Jose dancing with the woman who is also dancing the samba. And it ends with like a nice little festive samba. And then that is how Saludos Amigos ends.
And that's how Three Caballeros gets born, which apparently Hannah hates.
Yeah, apparently you don't like it. All
We'll
right.
get there when we get there.
So this is a little tricky.
Is
I
it?
think with the rankings. Who the hell is the protagonist?
We don't have to have a protagonist or a villain. We don't have a protagonist or a villain for Fantasia.
That's fair.
We
All
just
right.
need to rank. This one doesn't have a protagonist. It doesn't have an antagonist unless you want to count American imperialism and foreign
Yep.
policy. But, that's just, we can't count that because that's always going to be the number one villain.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to rank the movie, Saludos Amigos?
Give me my ranking right now.
All right. Fantasia is in dead last at 6.
Ugh.
Then The Reluctant Dragon. Then the then Pinocchio.
Then Pinocchio.
Then Dumbo. Then Snow White. And at number 1 is Bambi.
I'm tempted, and I wanna know how you're feeling about this ranking. I'm tempted to put it above Pinocchio, but below Dumbo.
I'm fine with that. I had a lot of fun watching this one. I wrote this was a quick. I know it's only 40 minutes, but it was a quick, easy watch.
Mm-hmm.
I said not great, but not nearly as bad as Reluctant Dragon or Fantasia.
Yeah, I would say let's do that then. Above Pinocchio.
Above Pinocchio. All right, so Saludos Amigos is in number 4 now, and Bambi remains number 1 Disney movie.
I think Bambi's gonna be tough to beat for a while.
I mean, I don't know. I know like our next one isn't gonna come close. I don't think anything is gonna come close in the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Unless there's a surprise.
Who knows? We'll never know.
Maybe you'll love Three Caballeros.
Maybe I will love it, even though Hannah hates it. Maybe we'll really love Victory Through Air Power.
I don't think we will. I have a feeling that we're not gonna like the war propaganda film.
Hey, this was propaganda, and you really liked it.
That's true. So. But Victory Through Air Power, just it sounds like propaganda from the title.
You're right.
Is that the next Disney film?
Let me double check.
I think it is, Hannah.
I also think so too. All right, it is Victory Through Air Power.
You're going to watch some World War II propaganda.
I'll put it on for my dad. He'll be enthralled.
I wonder if this is one of the animated things that really just, fucking
USA
show.
USA.
Well, it's gonna be that, but I know there are Disney shorts from this time period. I don't know if it's Victory Through Air Powers included in this. That man, they really draw some Japanese people.
Oh,
yeah. Let's not forget where they made Donald a Nazi.
There is a video where Donald is a Nazi. I don't know if it's this or it's something else, but yeah, that also. You're right, Amanda. That also happened.
Yeah, not
and
great.
To think, he has an honorable discharge from the Navy.
The U.S. Navy or the German Navy?
No, the U.S. Navy.
They actually had Donald Duck in the Navy.
He has actual papers, yes.
He was a spy the whole time.
He was a spy. A Russian spy.
Navy. All right.
No, I can't talk bad about Donald. My mom would kill me. And I do love Donald.
So next time we come to Disney, we'll have
Air Power. Victory.
Propaganda.
Another propaganda, but maybe worse propaganda.
Hey, I just want to let you guys know. I'll give you the heads up. We got Victory Through Air Power, the Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, which I'm excited for, and then Song of the South.
Are we doing Song of the South?
We are. It's a Disney movie.
It's not on Disney Plus.
I have it.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Why?
Because I don't see a reason to watch Song of the South.
I watch your shit.
You don't watch all the Scooby-Doo shit, and my shit only has one racist on it. That's not true. There's probably a ton of racist wrestlers.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And by the way, you're right. I don't watch the Scooby Doo thing. It's a joint effort, but I watch everything that you tell me to watch.
That's true. That's true.
So you should watch the thing that I tell you to watch.
If I can find it easily enough, I'll watch it. But if I'm not fucking going on a wild goose hunt for this movie,
I have it on my Google Drive. I'll just send you the link.
it defeats my plan of not watching the movie.
Yeah, I know it does. All right, Frankie, what's our
Next episode?
Yeah, are we wrestling?
Yeah, we're wrestling. Next episode, we're continuing WCW journey with our first pay-per-view event. We're going to be watching and reviewing Fall Brawl 1995.
We have to watch Hulk Hogan wrestle.
We have
Are
to
there gonna be
watch
pumpkins?
Pumpkins? No, that's the next pay-per-view.
It's Fall Brawl.
Yeah, but they have a Halloween pay-per-view called
I
Halloween
am-
Havoc.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so the Halloween pay-per-view. Hey, I will say this. I've started watching Fall Brawl already. It's so far not great, but there's going to be a lot of stuff for you guys to make fun of.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because there's a lot of
Let's do
fucking...
that.
There's a lot of costumes.
Cool.
I will say that Fall Brawl being the first pay-per-view is very sad for me. I was hoping Halloween Havoc would be the first pay-per-view, because Halloween Havoc involves a monster truck sumo wrestling match on the roof of a building and a wrestler being thrown off of the roof of a building.
I'm sorry. What words just came out of your mouth?
Jesus.
Yeah, so at this pay-per-view, they don't show it. They talk about it happening, and I think they show it on the next episode intro. But there's a wrestler called the Giant who runs over Hulk Hogan's motorcycle with a monster truck. And so that leads to a monster truck sumo wrestling match on top of a building.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's great. It's going to be fantastic. So that's what we have to look forward to. But instead, we'll be reviewing Fall Brawl, which has a War Games match, which is, at the best of times, a confusing mess. So
I'm confused already.
yeah, so we're going to watch Fall Brawl 95, continue WCW. I think it'll be fun. Unfortunate news to report about Fall Brawl 95, though, Hannah. Just so you don't go in with your hopes too high.
Is Pepe not there?
There's no Pepe on pay-per-views.
No. Oh.
It's a good thing you told her now, though.
I know. Otherwise, I would have gotten an angry text. Where the fuck was Pepe?
I got an angry text when Bambi's mom died, even though she knew it was happening. So I couldn't imagine what would happen if you didn't let her know ahead of time.
About
I
lack
will
of
watch
Pepe.
and I will hold my doggy while I watch. And that'll make up for it.
Mm-hmm. But Pepe's on the Nitros, all the Nitros until I don't know how long he lasts, but he's there until Mongo stops being a commentator. So,
Okay.
but with that being said, we can take care of business and wrap up the episode unless anyone else has something to add. All right, then let's take care of business. If you are listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notification every time an episode is uploaded. If you are listening to us on Spotify, remember to leave a review. They are very helpful. We appreciate them. Thank you so much. You can comment there as well and tell us what you think about the episodes. Remember to share, no matter where you're listening to this, with a friend, with an enemy, with your family, to anyone you think who might like or dislike. We don't care if people hate listen. We just want the numbers, baby. If you would like to send us an email with any comments about the show, any questions you want us to answer, or any ideas that you have for future episodes, you can do so by sending us an email over at
Nothing to see here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled HEAR.
If you would like to see some awesome artwork done by Hannah, some fun memes, and out of context images for each and every episode done by Hannah, you can do so over on our.
Did you just say that Hannah does the artwork?
I said Amanda does the artwork, right?
No, you said Hannah.
Did I?
I do
Did I
the
say
artwork now, guys.
Did I say your name for both?
Yep.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I was hoping you were going to switch us and say Amanda did the memes.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
If you want to do, I'm off my game. We don't usually record on Tuesdays. If you would like to see some artwork done by Amanda and memes and out of context images for every episode put up by Hannah, you can do so over on our Instagram page, which is
Nothing to see here pod.
And with all of that being said, all the business taken care of, the email and Instagram page are in the YouTube video description and the episode information on Spotify. We are done. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye and good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.